pain. 2 Corinthians 4, verses 7 through 9. But we have this treasure in earthen vessels, that the excellency of the power may be of God and not of us. We are troubled on every side, yet not distressed. We're perplexed, but not in despair. Persecuted, but not forsaken. Cast down, but not destroyed. It teaches that good management of bad experiences leads to great growth. Josh McDonald said, every problem introduces a person to himself. Man, what a revelatory statement that is. One of the best ways to introduce yourself to who you really are is to have a problem make the introduction for you. Are you fearful, angry, bitter, or are you confident, peaceful, and forgiving? Each time we encounter a painful experience, we get to know ourselves a little better. Pain causes us to stop in our tracks, or it can cause us to make decisions we would like to put off, deal with issues we would rather not face, and make changes that make us feel uncomfortable. Pain prompts us to face who we are and where we are. What we do with that experience defines who we become. What separates people who thrive from those who merely survive? I believe it's how they face their problems. Here's what I know about bad experiences. Number one, everyone has them. 1 Peter 4:12 says, Beloved, think it not strange concerning the fiery trial, which is to try you, as though some strange thing happened to you. Everybody has sin. All of us are tempted. All of us have trials. No matter who you are, where you live, what you do, or what your background is, you will have to deal with bad experiences. Expecting the world to treat you fairly just because you're a good person is a little like expecting a bull not to charge you because you're just a vegetarian. You have to have some realistic expectation when it comes to pain, problems, and difficulties. You can't avoid them. And you can't shelter your kids from them, or anyone else for that matter. Some days you're the pigeon, and some days you're the statue. So I like to quote, I try to take life one day at a time, but lately several days have attacked me at once. Have you ever felt that way? Number two, no one likes problems. No one likes it when they're in the middle of bad experiences. It's usually just painful. But if they manage the experience well, then they enjoy talking about it afterwards. It becomes a great war story. The third thing I've learned is few people make bad experiences positive experiences. Life difficulties do not allow us to stay the same. They move us. The question is, which direction will they move us? Forward or take us backwards? Success in life comes not from holding a good hand, but playing a bad hand well. Most successful people will point out the times in their lives that were bad and hard as key points in their journey of development. If you are dedicated to growth, then you must become committed to managing your bad experiences well, to let your discomfort be your catalyst for your development. Growth is the best possible outcome for any negative experience. So how do you turn your pain into gain? I think one of the things you have to do is choose a positive life stance. If you can maintain a positive life stance, you put yourself in the best position to manage bad experiences and turn them into positive growth. Family therapy pioneer and author Virginia Satir observed, life is not the way it's supposed to be, it's the way it is. The way you cope with it is what makes the difference. You cannot control much of what happens to you in your life. However, you can control your attitude, and you can choose to rise above your circumstances and refuse to allow negative experiences to undermine who you are and what you believe. And you can be resolved to find something positive to learn in the face of tragedy and setbacks. Life is filled with good and the bad. Some of the good and bad I can't control. That's just the way life is. If I have a positive life stance, the good and bad will become better. If I have a negative life stance, the good and bad will become worse. Therefore, I choose a positive stance. Another part of having a positive life stance is embrace and develop your creativity. I believe that creativity begins at the end of your comfort zone. When you feel the pain of bad experiences, creativity gives you the opportunity to turn that pain into gain. The secret is doing that is to use the energy that comes from either the adrenaline or anger and use it to solve and learn lessons. When you have a bad experience, instead of letting it discourage you or make you angry, try to find a way to let it prompt you and prompt your creativity. Another thing we need to do is embrace the value of bad experiences. President John F. Kennedy was once asked how he became a war hero. With his customary dry wit, he responded, "It was quite easy. Somebody sunk my boat." What a great positive outlook on a war experience. You know, it's always easier to see something positive in a negative experience long after it happens. But it's difficult to meet the negative experience in the moment with a positive mindset. However, if you can do that, you will always be able to learn something from it. You know, where there is no struggle, there is no progress. Facing difficulties is inevitable. Learning from them, that is an option. Whether you learn is based on if you understand that difficulties present opportunities to learn and treat them accordingly. We need to make good changes after learning from bad experiences. Often it takes a bad experience for us to face the changes we need to make in our lives. A bend in the road is not the end of the road unless you fail to make a turn. So we need to be willing to make some changes. When bad experiences create strong feelings in us, we either face the feelings and try to change, or we try to escape. It's the old fight or flight instinct we're all born with. We need to train ourselves to fight for positive changes. The next time you find yourself in the midst of a bad experience, remind yourself that you're on the cusp of an opportunity to change and to grow for the better. Whether you do will depend on how you react to your experience and the changes you make as a result. Allow your emotions to be a catalyst for change. Think through how to change to make sure you're making good choices, and then take action. Take responsibility for your life. We got to do that. It's a positive life stance. You must take responsibility for your life and the choices that you make. It is nearly impossible to grow in any significant way when you don't take responsibility for yourself and your life. Get out of the blame game business. Take responsibility. No matter what you have gone through in your life or what you're currently going through, you have the opportunity to grow from it. It's sometimes very difficult to see the opportunity in the midst of pain, but believe me, it's there. You must be willing not only to look for it, but to pursue it. There's a lot of gain that comes in pain, and pain is unavoidable. But use your pain, learn from it,